fuck yourself. Hey, Joe, fuck yourself.
Scrub and wash these balls, son.
That's even better.
Wow, I'm glad you both said that live on the air, so everybody could hear you. That's
Right?
we were supposed to have Fletcher on tonight, but he fucking stood us up, which is fine, I guess. Fuck it. It's not like we don't have tits, so our podcast is not important. But it is what it is. So this is supposed to be another episode for High Rise Month, but since we got stood up by another High Rise guy, hello Mom. It's not happening. I'd fucking what was it? What's that guy's name? John Liliberti, man, he was super upset. Yeah, he was super upset with what I said last week. Apparently, I said.
At first, you didn't even. What did you say?
I don't know. He said something about me saying he was a drug addict or something. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Did I say that?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah, I was wondering, what the fuck is up with this dude?
Huh? He outed himself on it. I don't know. I don't have anything against the guy. I mean, sorry. I don't understand dudes like that.
I don't either.
They're consummate ball busters, but if you bust their balls, they get all in their feelies about shit. Oh God.
How dare you make fun of me?
I can't believe you besmirched my reputation like that. What do you mean, dude? You're on Facebook talking about looking for a job every 6 fucking months. And now somehow I'm the asshole for saying it on a podcast. Oh, my bad, dude.
You're tarnishing my name.
I got nothing against him. He wants to. He wants to come on. He wants to come on the podcast. He's like, let me on the show. I'm like, you've been on the show twice. I mean, what do you need to do?
He's from Pensacola, which is 2.5 hours away from me.
I mean, I'm not saying I'd never have him on again, but I mean, what do you think? You're going to come on the show and what? Say some stuff to me? I can assure you that whatever you're going to say to me on the podcast is really not going to, it's not going to sink in. I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. Just, throwing that out there. I'm going to continue to be me.
It's all you can do.
I've never met someone who bangs their head against the wall harder than that kid does. He is just it's this way, it's this way.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just yelling at himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's high rise or you ain't fucking cleaning windows and you don't know how and you're a bitch and all that stuff. So,
that's why Mark feels he's superior to us.
No, I never.
Well, he's one of them dudes. It's fucking, if you don't do it the way that he does it, then he has no respect for you. So he has no respect for me. So you want respect from me, but don't feel that I deserve any respect from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, he's what? How old is that kid?
It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me.
He's got to be in his 30s now.
Yeah, that doesn't. His age doesn't matter to me. That don't bother me. My thing is this: if you want a certain level of respect, you have to give that.
Of course.
In order to get it back. You know what I mean? If you want a level of respect, you can't treat me like I'm some kind of fucking cunt, and then be like, "Well, you said this thing about me, and now I'm upset, and I think you should." Right. Show me some respect and stuff. And I'm just like, listen, bro, what I said is not anything that you haven't said a million times on Facebook. All I said was, you look for a job a lot. That's all I was saying. You know what I mean? I'm not, which is true.
You want respect, you got to lick my balls.
Yeah, Jay Camaro. Hey, thanks for the thumbs down. I hope you enjoy the podcast. You barren Wheatfield hair having ass dude. He fucking dude, that's another dude. He's like, all you could do was clown on my appearance and stuff because you can't say nothing about my business. No, because
it's not your business.
The reason why I don't say anything about your business is because I leave business completely out of all my discussions. I'd rather just attack you personally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah. I mean, just wait.
It's not because I'm jealous. It's not
it's beyond me.
It's not because I'm jealous of you. It's just because I just rather fucking clown, because I know it's gonna upset you. I know you're gonna be upset. The whole tech thing, like, if you bring up techs, this dude loses his fucking mind. Like, it devalues his business by me and Mark not thinking that dudes are, like, that clean windows are techs. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a skill. Like, it is definitely a skill. But you don't need a degree from a technical school to be a fucking window cleaner, dude.
For window cleaners. Okay.
And you're not going to tell me what I went to school to be a carpenter. I learned, and that is a technical profession to be in.
Sure it is.
You don't need a fucking slide rule or a tape measure to clean a piece of fucking glass. You are a janitor.
Hey TJ, can you take apart
I
a storm window?
I am a janitor. I am a janitor.
Can you
know
take
what I mean?
apart a Pella storm window?
Yeah, that was
Model
his.
93.
That was his retort. It was like, can any old window cleaner take this kind of window apart? I'm like, dude, are you being like for real right
You mean
now?
move clips? I mean, push clips in and pull it in. Like, that's a Pella Storm, my guy.
Bro.
There's
Asshole.
2, 4, 6, 8 clips.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, clips! What do you even do with clips?
He said that shit. I about pissed my pants.
Someone
I'm just
in
this
the
guy.
comments said personal attacks are the best. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, there's a certain level of decorum. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get what you give around here. And if we say something and you don't agree with our opinion, I understand that you don't agree with our opinion, and that's fine. If you want to call your guys, if you're going to tell your customers, I'm sending a tech right over, then do that. I don't fucking care. But it's not going to stop me from thinking that it's fucking retarded.
Well, I'm just going to say this.
I'm sorry.
I hire a window cleaning company and they come to my house, and then let's say hypothetically there's an issue like a drip, right? And I call them back and they tell me, I'm going to send a tech over to take care of this. I'm going to tell them, no, send a window cleaner. I don't want a fucking tech.
To quote TJ, go fuck your mother. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean? I'm not, again, I don't have, like, anything against, like, Jay doesn't see, I mean, I would probably, like, go to one of Jay's barbecues and hang out and fucking have a beer with him or something, but
would never do.
Well, probably not. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd throw a rock at him. I'm like driving by like an idiot. No, that is the type of dude, you know that kid in high school. You know that kid in high school. You know exactly who that kid is.
Excuse me, Seth. Can you...
Chris Griffin?
Can you disassemble a Pella?
You mean push clips out and pull it in?
Right.
Yeah, I can do that.
I don't know. It's very technical.
It is. You have to kind of pull on the edges and go. Yeah, it's very difficult
Skype is
to take out
acting
a
all
Pella Storm.
fucking crazy right now. You guys keep dipping. I keep dropping the fucking video feeds and shit. This fucking shit.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was probably
dude, I spend, you would not believe the amount of money I spend on this fucking internet for it to be acting like this.
What's up, Cameron?
What's up, dog? Oh, did the feed drop?
Yeah, who knows what the fuck's the deal is with that? I don't fucking know. And you know what? I don't care. All I care about is barren wheat fields and the fucking medieval times. That's all I care about. Yee!
I'm really interested in how to take apart a storm window, quite truthfully.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to add
Have you ever
Fletcher.
seen Half Baked?
Yep.
You know when he's sitting in jail and he's like, "You're not a fish, you're a man." That's like just what I imagine him being there. You're a real window cleaner, just talking to himself in the mirror.
Oh my god.
That's the only reason you do what you do is because you're not confident in who you are, and you have to tell.
But you know what it is too, though.
What's up, John?
Like, people from Boston.
John.
Boston has that accent. New England has that accent, but that Connecticut accent is fucking annoying. It's not like a New York accent. It's fucking annoying.
It's a hybrid between Boston and New York.
Yeah.
So it's the worst of the two accents put together.
Yeah.
Well, Connecticut's like an inferior state. They have this complex. Like you have Boston over here, then you have New York here, and then Connecticut's just like where you drive to get to either one of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, ask anybody from New England. Connecticut is like the forgotten stepchild of like New England. Like, there's no reason to be there. It's just
Well, there's
white
19
people
watching.
Like,
Let's get those thumbs up or thumbs down higher than 5, guys. We got to do way better than that.
And the only people who like Connecticut are people from Connecticut. That's it. Anyone else who's ever been there, it's like, this is the most boring state I've ever been to.
It's fucking beautiful.
I don't know.
Who the hell is James Benning?
Yeah.
I'm trying to add him, but he
He's on. He sent me a screenshot.
He keeps sending me texts. Just answer the call.
Oh, all right.
We have a question, TJ. TJ, how do you feel about companies like Central Window Cleaning?
How do I feel about Windows Company? I think they're
who's?
oh
my god.
I think maybe. I mean, fuck Central Window Cleaning. I'll just say it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you work for them. I don't know. Maybe that's one of your homeboys. I don't know. But I just they fuck shit up and I fix it. How about that?
Right. They don't clean it very well and I take it.
Yeah. They don't clean it very well and then I take it over. You know what I mean?
They wear fucking sweatpants.
There's some companies out there like that one, for instance, that may have gotten a little too big for their britches, and just kind of, fucked up a little bit along the way. You know what I mean? And just kind of maybe lost their way a little bit. And,
well, Seth can relate to this, and I don't mean any ill towards you guys because you're solo operators, but Seth probably would understand. You are as good as your worst employee, right? Seth? So that's who's representing your company. So when you have 10, 20, or 30, or 40 employees, you're pretty much set up for that. I respect the accomplishment. I just think it's fucking ridiculous, personally. That's me.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of business model, I don't think really works in the service industry unless you have a real big backing and you have... Yeah, you'd have to do something other than window cleaning to do that, to be honest. Like, I just don't think there's enough windows for 30 guys to do, Like in a service area, I just don't see how you can do it.
Was that you, Jacob?
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
I'm trying to...
Okay.
Fletcher's wanting to talk while I can't talk to you on Skype while I'm doing the podcast live. When I switch to the other chat, it fucking takes the video feed down. So, I tried calling. You didn't answer.
I sent him a message. Answer the call.
I don't know what else to do.
It shows that he's in the call. Well, no, it says 4 of 5 in the call, but I see his name.
Yeah. I called him. I tried editing. Can't do the...
Oh, man.
Oh, Pandangles.
Holy sh...
I don't know. I just, I'll say this. The dude, he does, like, he bids shit and then, or has guys bid shit and then he goes and then, like, afterwards tries to jack the price up, like, 2-3 times what the guy bid it for, and he's a real fucking asshole about it, and, I just, the guy's kind of a twat when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I'm wondering if they fan the glass or if they use the S method.
I don't know, man. We should
my balls around.
totally overanalyze all of it. You know what I mean?
Hear y'all with the fuck. Sorry, I guess I just missed the call up there though.
What's up, dude?
Hey, man, just get here whenever the fuck you can. It's not like we have a time or anything.
Yeah.
Go down there to Yep, right here under volume. Go to hit the over button.
Who the fuck is this guy?
He's worse
That's my brother, by the way.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
Hey, Mark. Mark Duarte. Where are you at in Ohio, dude?
Jacob up here.
I don't know. It's like he moved him out. I wasn't in the call.
I don't even know if they can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you.
We can hear you fine.
Can you hear us?
Give me a thumbs up, maybe.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, that works.
Listen, Jacob's busy not talking, sending memes to somebody. All right, give Jacob a break. Right now.
Bitch, I've been talking the whole time, buttfuck.
Listen, buttfucker.
It should.
You haven't.
It should. You got to go to settings and change your output device.
Yeah, your audio output device.
So it's one or the other. Audio and video settings right here.
Who are you?
Speakers. Yeah, go to speakers, Realtek audio right here.
7 of them.
Yeah, no, that's the second one. Second one.
Maybe.
Test audio.
Yeah, we can
When
still
you
hear.
talk.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you fine.
Now,
There
now,
you
it,
go.
we
Hey,
can-
Fletcher,
Oh, okay, Mark.
did
Okay.
your brother run that camera for you when you're doing all those cool videos or what?
No, this is the actual studio where we do a lot of music and recording, and he's
Cool.
got like 72 fucking speakers. I was told him I was doing this tonight, but I didn't want Conrad bebopping around, so he was putting him in the bath and the bed for me, so I did it here. And I came back, and he had it all set up majestic with a fire going and shit outside. I was like, man, this ain't that kind of a podcast.
Well, listen, it could be that kind of podcast. You don't know.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
could
know
be.
what we're
It
up
could
to.
be whatever the fuck you want it to be. I mean, weird flex. I'm in my studio, but you know, whatever.
I don't know about you, Fletch, but all of us are naked from the waist down. So
Yeah.
Dan,
Feel
was
that cool
nice.
breeze.
I
right
just
now.
got home from work and like rushed in here. Thank God he actually set everything up for me. I was like, hey man, and I kind of let him down. Like he had the mic and a camera outside by the fire. I shit you not, man. Like this beautiful fire going with the sunset view.
You like
he
totally.
clean
Can't do that.
You
your
fucked
brother
up. You
clean
should have
windows
done
too?
that. You should have done that, dude. You fucked up.
Oh, I should have. I'll do it for you next time, man.
You all good?
That would have
That's
been
a
way
deal.
cooler if you would have done that.
Well,
We
I'll
had some
find it.
dude. We had a dude that was on the podcast repelling.
I did see that at Mike Rosa.
Okay. Mike Rosa.
That was badass,
And then
man. I
and
love
then
Mike.
Mark Darnell did he did the podcast from the parking lot of a Baskin Robbins or something, or a Kentucky
7-Eleven.
Fried Chicken, some shit.
He was
Jacob
dumpster
Dell
diving or
Jacob
something.
Dell used to do the podcast from his truck in
yeah,
his driveway. So I mean, you could do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Philip Alexander did it with
Yeah.
one eye at the camera and then
Yeah.
leaning in a chair.
in the back
Did
of the
it,
van,
did it in
down by the
sports
river.
unit with all this fucking.
All we ask is that you show up on time, which you did not do.
Man, I just got home from work. Like literally had just got home and have been rushing. So I just was glad I wasn't super late. I was gonna stay and work longer. It was such a beautiful day, but I did come back early just for this. So I was like,
Oh,
okay.
here we go. Don't try to
You
guilt
know,
us. Don't
I
try.
had an old
Don't
boss
try
tell me
that
one
guilt
thing.
trip shit.
Late
Yeah.
is late, motherfucker.
Yeah, late is
It's
late.
my favorite building, man. So
Oh, okay.
So it's
So
a
we
year
see-
later, Fletch.
Yeah, it's a year later. Are you cooler now than you were the last time you were here?
I'm probably more of a loser.
Oh man.
Yeah, probably not because you
Hey,
can't
don't-
get here on time.
Don't
Yeah,
worry. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Us too, man. We're bigger losers now too, dude.
Hell yeah.
I
have
seen
been
you were
fucking
on
around
a
those water-fed poles a little bit more.
nice.
you know?
I seen you were on a pretty cool. I seen you were on some kind of show. Whose podcast were you on? Or were you on a news?
Oh, dude, it was this influencer who used to live in Los Angeles. She lives in one of the buildings I do.
Uh-huh.
She had been trying to get a hold of me and put notes on her windows, and one of her fans found me on TikTok and made that happen. She just wanted to interview me with a crazy job. you
Oh,
know?
okay.
So that was that, really.
Cool,
That was a
man.
fun time, though.
Yeah,
She was
I
really
watched it. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, she was really sweet. Though. That's a wild life she lives, though, man. To be honest with you, like, I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean like literally traveling from country to country and
Yeah.
then having brand after brand, where you're constantly having to like record 30, 40 videos a day of different bullshit and put it out. Travel here,
Right.
travel. That just sounds terrible to me.
I don't travel everywhere, but I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah,
Having to
I'll-
record
yeah.
shit all the time.
But how have
You know
y'all
what I
been?
We're doing good.
I'm gay, a little around the mouth.
Hey,
Yeah, see, that's exactly why.
Jacob, grab
you know,
that.
I contemplated screen capturing this podcast
Yeah.
and live streaming it on TikTok to my following just to generate more. And I was like, no, I will get hit with some kind of strike within the first 10 minutes.
What do you mean, dude? Come
Yeah, I
on,
was
man.
like, I
This
just
is a
can't do it.
family-friendly show, dude. Stop it.
Dude, we got
Everyone's
15
kids are
girls
watching
on here
right
I
now.
love it, dude, but
Transphobic,
TikTok's way
shut
too
up.
sensitive.
Which
Yeah.
is really weird how sensitive TikTok is. You can like.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
depends
have
on
your-
what you are. They got women out there with like in the Philippines, like half naked with their kids, live
Yeah,
streaming. They get
They
donations.
got lady boys
It's
in the
dangerous,
Philippines with their
propelling
dogs
up
flopping
and
around
fuck you.
naked.
You would know,
Yeah.
Jacob. Way to talk over him.
What did Big Daddy Jacob say?
Who knows? He always talks in somebody else's.
Big Daddy.
He's Big Daddy Jacob.
That's
I
gonna
like
stick
that.
for a while.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
Is your background emblem is that from Nick Williams' Squeegee Life thing? I mean, Nick Williams, the Squeegee
No.
guy.
No,
Huh?
this is Squeegee Life.
That's
It's
mine.
the Sacred Eye of the Squeegee. Is
That's
TJ's.
mine. I
What
drew
is
that.
his? Does his look similar to that then?
It's mine. He's using it. I allow him to do so.
Okay. I guess I love his videos so much. They're like the most satisfying I watch, to be honest, just because
Yeah.
his editing is top tier.
Yeah.
But I always love how he forms them together at the end. And when I saw it, I was like, oh. So,
Yeah,
makes sense.
he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, can I use this?" I'm like, "Of course."
Of course.
I'm a big fan of his editing too. I really like. The amount of editing he does for a minute long TikTok, I just can't wrap my. I mean, I
he's
can't do
good
it.
at it, but yeah, that's the same thing with me, man. I'll get through. I'll record a 45-minute long clip,
hmm
and I'll start watching the first 10 minutes, or just remember like, okay, 30 minutes through this drop, I remember something happened. I won't fucking watch the rest of it because that's too much editing for me. I'm just like that rest of it.
Like
so
I
what?
spent like fucking what 20 minutes or better editing that video of me superimposed and shit. And by the time I was done with it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Tim and Eric or like
It's the
Steve's
worst.
Rule show? Remember how they did they did that? I was like, this is so cool. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. You should have like spun around and like smiled or something.
Like
that
my
would've been awesome.
my fucking my video my TikTok I did that makes me look like a comic. I'm in a comic book. Like, dude, you know how fucking much time that fucking shit fucking takes, man. Fuck. I'm like, I try to keep up with. I try to, I see Nick do something and I get inspired. I'm like, I'm gonna do a cool TikTok, and then about halfway through it, I'm like, fuck this, man.
The one he did with the one he did with Curious George,
Oh,
and he put the Curious George clips in, learning high rise, and like put it
Yes,
all through.
dude.
Like
Yeah.
I loved it so
yeah,
much, dude.
it's such a good video.
He's good, but for me, anytime I actually take the time to edit one and I watch it, and it's like I really try to showcase just the window cleaning and like
Mhm.
the technique, it's like 0 views, just terrible, no comments.
Yeah.
And any of the
Yeah.
wild shit that's just stupid, people are like, "Oh, I like this." It's just like, should I take time you don't give a shit about? It sucks.
It's strange how that works. Like, I'll like post a video on TikTok and I'll be like, whatever about it, and it'll get like 25,000 views, and I barely do anything in the
Yep.
video. I just slap it together and it does like 25K in 2 days, and then I'll fucking spend an hour editing a TikTok video and it gets 600 views. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
I make a
Nick
fucked up
Williams-
TikTok
like
about
Nick Williams-
beating off in a porta potty.
Well, Nick Williams, like shit, like the amount of effort he puts into it, he should have millions of views
He
on those
should,
fucking
dude.
TikToks.
He
They're
really
so
should.
good.
I
They're
feel
so
like he's
good.
getting awards for that editing, dude.
They're so
there needs
good.
to be a category at these, like the IWCA, if they do awards every year and all
Mm.
that shit. There needs to be video editing awards, and he needs
does,
to win it hands down.
he does
dude, just
so
'cause his
well
script.
in the short, like they're not really long TikToks either.
No.
They're short and they're cut together so concise. They're really good. They're really.
Well, he knows how to get people's attention too. He knows how to cut out the spots where you generally lose people, which is like really scrubbing out the window and really detailed. People don't want to see you scrub for 30 seconds. They want
Yeah.
to just see you start and boom, there's the squeegee going, sexy,
Right.
then to something else. And he's good at it, man.
I get lost in sometimes, because I do so many videos for product. You know what I mean? Like product placement videos. That
Hey
when
man,
I
you got
just
a guy that wants to go back to you talking about being gay around your mouth.
Well, I'm not anymore. That was
Was
before.
Vase?
That was before, and this is now. I'm done being gay around the mouth.
You heard him, Mark with a K in the comments.
That's the Central guy.
Yeah, he used to work for Central in Pennsylvania.
Dude, I could not get fucking comfortable in this chair.
Well, dude, it's all fucking
driving
like
me nuts.
It's like fucking all leaned back and shit.
Dude, it's ridiculous. God. That's bad. A little bit better. Damn.
Can't help but fall asleep in it.
Like I've been working all day.
Yeah,
That's the same thing. My brother had this majestic setup outside, like stumps. The stumps we used to sit down around there drinking and have fires going and making music out there. You know, we'll go back and forth and just be bebopping at night. He had it majestic. I was like, dude, I've been working all day. I'm not trying to sit on a stump.
Right.
Just
True.
not.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think the scene would have been cool though, but you know, if you want to give us,
Yeah, thanks for being an asshole, Fletcher.
yeah,
Oh.
your brother goes
Is
through all that
is this
fucking
scene
trouble.
not good enough? Do I
No.
not entertain you?
You do not. We are not entertained.
I love that you caught the Gladiator clip. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyone ever
Really
clean
do.
windows in a hair salon with it? It's not perm. It's hairspray.
Yeah, I don't do salons just because of that.
It's hairspray. It's not. You think it's perm. It just stinks like perm in that
Yeah.
motherfucker. I promise you that it's hairspray. It's hairspray and dust.
We
And
no
then-
longer do nail salons or hair salons or breakfast restaurants. No.
Yeah, because Mark is rolling in the fucking dough. He just. I don't need that money.
That's right. It's not worth the aggravation. It's
I
not
do
about-
Rolls
Mark's-
Royce and Mercedes.
Mark's a fucking. Mark's a
dealerships.
pussy.
I don't need your pussy storefronts.
Mark's a pussy.
Yep.
You guys are fucking children.
You clean
all right?
$15. You do now.
That's
$5
every hair salon I've
holla.
ever walked by while cleaning windows.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Andrew, isn't your business doing really well?
It's Seth, but you know, whatever.
Seth, yeah, he's using his
It's
brother,
Seth,
right?
man.
I'm
He's
sorry, I
It's
read
his
the fucking
brother's,
name.
Sky.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. It's good.
I thought I remember watching a podcast a while back, and like you weren't on it because you were slammed with how busy you had been. I think that was like just before Christmas and shit like that.
He's
like
doing
during-
Christmas
Well,
lights.
yeah, well, I started doing Christmas lights, which was
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah, I remember you were
I bit off
playing.
a little bit more than I could chew, I think, at that time, because I had like everything was going all at once.
You
and I
can't
didn't
chew
have
it,
enough
Jacob
people,
will.
So
Yeah, it's good to hear though.
Yeah,
You know? I
it's-
feel like
it's
we haven't
going
even
good,
had a
man.
slow
It's been
season this
busy.
year, dude. It hasn't let up.
yeah, well, we
It's
didn't
not a
really have
bad
a winter,
pop.
so you know.
Winter was chill. I agree. It was real chill out here for us.
Uh,
We had 1 week of snow and that was it.
yeah, we didn't. I don't even know if we had a week. I think I had a couple days of snow here and there, and that was it.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it's been good.
So did
gonna get-
WCR get you that fucking piece of equipment you were looking for, dude? Because we yelled at him,
Me?
said send it. Yeah.
No, but I did get my truck fixed. I just dropped like $6,000 on that and had to rebuild the engine. So that was pretty much the money I was going to use to get a whole new gear set up. But I had
So
to pay
how
my
much money
taxes.
does it? How much money does it cost to get what you want? How much money do you need?
I'll get it soon because
I'm not. That's fine. I'm just wondering, like, to change
What I
for the
want-
audience. For the
The
audience.
thing is,
For
what
the
I really
audience,
wanna
is
do,
I'm trying to get the.
For
I'm
the
trying to
sake
get-
of fucking the month of March.
So this is where I'm at, man. Is like, I love the cylinder and I love racks and I love all those things, you know, and I'm comfortable on them. But if you're trying to bring new people into this industry, like I'm trying to do, like my boss, he brought in some other people that were older and kind of had some records, which is fine. I've got one too. But right now, you know, I've brought in 3, you know, just this week, all from TikTok, you know, 20 years old, interested in rappelling, good shape. And to get these young guys to do, you know, what we're doing, to make it as safe as possible, you look at the new gear with the descenders, with like, I really want to run Spark. I think Spark's best, hands down, in my opinion, from what we do, as many drops and all my friends, what we see. I'm not a fan of like the Petzl ones. They just wear out too fast. I'm not a fan of the D4s. And for me personally, I love a descender and I love a rack and bar. But if you want to get new people into the industry, you just need to go safe, man. And to be honestly, it's more efficient. If you want to climb up a rope, climb down with these descenders. They stop, the auto lock features on them. It's just like less accidents can happen with them. And it's like, for me, that's why I want to switch to that. And when I'm getting these younger guys with me, you know, it is a little nerve wracking. It is scary, especially like if you lock off and you're dropping, it does. Running devices like we do really isn't, and Mark knows, it's what separates, the men from the boys.
You know what, Fletcher, though? We've had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I always used rack and bar. I tried a cylinder. I didn't care for it, the way it spun the rope. But we've talked about that last time. My point is, though, I watch these high-rise pages, and every one of these descenders these guys are using wears the fuck out.
That's
yeah,
the biggest
and
negative.
they're not cheap. They're $400-$500. I mean, dude, I used the same rack and put new bars on it for 10 or 15 years.
I've been running the same cylinder for 3 years solid, and those are $200. Like the Spark and these other ones, you're looking at $450, $500 unless you can get a great deal.
Yeah.
They're gonna wear out quick.
If I had something that you would want, I would send it to you. I've got a Frost Rope Rider. You know what that is?
For me, I don't know what that is, but
Rope Rider is a knockoff of the Sky Genie. Okay, but you pull down the outside cover. You wrap it around like 3 times, just like.
I think I saw that on.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Website.
Yeah, they might have it there. I've got.
They have it on their website, but they don't have it for sale. I don't think, or it's one of the other something like that.
And I've got a what's the one with the red handle that you squeeze? The SRT with the stainless.
Oh, the SRT.
Yeah, I tried the SRT, and you gotta still, it creeps. And they said, oh, once you wear it in, and I noticed as I did, multiple drops on it, it stopped creeping, But it's so hard to get used to something else, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I 100% know what you're saying, and like for me, it's like I don't give a shit the amount of hate I get for running the cylinder and the ropes, old school, like the amount of shit I get, in comments online. I don't give a shit, you know what I mean? Because my work speaks for itself, and so does buildings we're doing, But for me, it's just like with these new kids and new guys, like I don't want to. What we're trying to do with our company, we're trying to turn our crew, where it's me, my buddy John, my buddy Cody, have been running this, for a while. Each of them are going to be running a crew, and I'm kind of going to take over ours and be training a lot of people because I am a single dad, so it's like taking my son to school and he's in special school. There's no buses. So it's like I can't commit to being there at 6 a.m. and stay until 8 p.m. They can, but what I can do is train the fuck out of some guys and knock out the buildings we're doing. So that's what we've been talking with my boss about expanding. But to get these new guys that I want to get, is like at the end of the day, I do want it to be as safe as possible. And it does suck that these descenders do cost twice as much. They do wear out faster, but the user error, you know what I mean? There is so much more of a safety net for these guys, and to make them feel comfortable. You know what? If they've been in a few years and they want to switch to a rack, they see how the other guys use them and they're faster, so be it. You know what I mean? And that's like a lot of our guys will use racks on straight drops, but when we go do balcony drops, descender's the way to go, all day long, because if you go too low, it just sits there. It's perfect for that. But at the end of the day, and that's one thing where me and my boss, where we don't see eye to eye a lot. I love him to death, but at the end of the day, he's the same one who's like been doing this 40 years, always on a cylinder and a rope. I've never had any accidents, and it's just like my mindset isn't, because it hasn't happened to me doesn't mean it can't. Like, I like to learn from other people's mistakes, because it saves your life. You know what I mean? I got a kid to get home to, so there's pros and cons. But at the end of the day, if it costs more to make people more safer on the job, you know what I mean, to where there's less risk of someone who's less experienced, fucking up, I'd rather pay them more money. You know what I mean? I rather would, to be honest, because it's like you get a few of these young guys and train them right, you can have for 10, 20 years. You get someone up there who's had a wild life and doesn't care. Sometimes they'll work out, but sometimes
it's not always
I want to get them young,
straight,
man. I want to get these guys young and get them into a career. The ones that aren't going to college and don't know what they're doing, I want to get them in somewhere safe, right, making good money, and like.
You really want
to do that. You
really want somebody that doesn't give a shit about life to be working next to you all day.
Right. Dude, in high rise, ask Mark. You got them all day long, dude. You'll be on stage and you meet some random guy on the stage for the first time. And he's acting wild. You take a peek in his lunchbox, all of a sudden there's a full thing of Fireball. You come back from lunch, and that Fireball is empty.
Yeah.
You know, the stories you hear, dude, and see. So it's just like, to run the crew that we have now, it's just like, you know, everyone smokes, you know, like we smoke, but not on the job, you know what I mean? Because we like to get that shit done, you know, it's a little bit risky, but none of us we all have it passed, but like, I don't want to be working with someone that has a problem. And it's not just because, you know, I don't do that stuff anymore and I don't like to be around it, but it's like, I value your life, you know what I mean?
Right.
And no one
Well,
needs to be
I've
doing-
always looked at it like this, Fletcher. I said this story last week or the week before. I hired a guy to do piecework, and he was doing 3 wide on a 20-story building, and he had a 4-bar rack, and he would open them up and literally free fall between the floors. And I'm like, dude, I'm not impressed. Go home.
No.
I'm not impressed.
Not
If
at
you've got a
all,
death
man.
wish, if I see that, you understand, Fletcher, you're probably the same way. You want to train these guys right, not daredevil.
No, I don't want that. I
Because
want
if
you to
I
do
see
good
someone
work.
go down, it's probably done for me too.
No, dude, because exactly. If I see one of my buddies go down, you know, it's probably done for me too. Like that guy you had on, who works at S&K, whose line snapped and he did a rope transfer.
That was
into
crazy,
safety.
right?
That is absolutely crazy, and you know that.
That would have never. That would have been it. That would have been it for me.
Thank God his flight or fight, I'm imagining, kicked in, and it just, what do I got to do to get out of this situation?
Well,
You know?
he's lucky he had someone within 10 feet of him.
Yeah, that too. You know, and it goes to show, like he said, and he's dead on, right? You know, I do not like hanging by myself. You know, I've had to do it. We've all had to do it. At the end of the day, it's like, if he didn't have someone else, dude, he wouldn't be here today.
Not all of us.
He would have never made it down 20 stories.
No,
not all of us. Not
like
all of
that
us have had to
alone.
do it. Me,
That
Seth, and
alone.
Jacob are your lessers, and we've not had to do that.
Well, that's a good thing you haven't had to.
When I was coming up at 19 or 20, I worked for a high-rise company for 2 years. I did like their mid-level stuff, like just like lift work, stuff like that. But some of the fucking cowboys they had working for them was like, I remember a guy threatening to cut a guy's ropes hanging over the building because he thought he took his drugs. Another guy got arrested on site for like duct taping his girlfriend in the basement of his house. He went to jail for like 9 years. Like this is the guys that were doing high-rise. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna learn how to do high-rise with these fucking guys. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of these people. And I think sometimes that's the rep. I mean, at least around here in Boston was like crazy drug addict dudes do high rise, or like,
Well,
like
there does seem to me
That
personally
is
just
everywhere. That's everywhere. My boss, that's one thing he said, and he'll say it time and time again. And when we show up to do interiors at these nice buildings, we're on the outside. He's like, I'll say one thing. He said, I am so proud that I've got the cleanest looking and cleanest crew. He was like, because you can't find that. And that's like, you know, like I said, I'm all about giving people a second chance. But I told him, you know,
I'm all about not judging people by the way they look.
Well, but when you're in our industry, at the end of the day, when you're coming into these buildings where people pay $250,000 a year to live there, it's marble bathrooms, granite, everything, gorgeous. No, you need to come correct. You should,
Right, you do.
know, or you don't deserve those contracts.
Or even a
At the
Class
end of the
A
day,
office
you're
building
getting
full of
paid
attorneys.
to
What do you mean? I
quality
don't
work.
understand what you
That's
mean by
part of
that.
it.
Do you wear a uniform or did you go to work to looking like that?
Me?
Yeah.
I had a high-rise hoodie on over me.
So you're just wearing a hoodie. So it's not
It says
necessarily
National High-Rise
yeah, but
hoodie
it's
over me.
what I'm saying is it's not shirt and tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
so,
my pants are above my waist. My clothes are clean. I come clean cut, look nice. Yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. You know, I have the.
well, like I said,
the
it's
amount
more
of
about
access
who
you
you.
get
It's
to
about
these buildings that
more
matter.
about how you present yourself, not about
all
the
of
way
that
you
does.
look.
Well, it's how you look and present yourself.
I know a lot of
together.
guys that look a certain way, but when you talk to them, they're probably some of the kindest people you'd ever meet.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man. But at the end of the day, these people pay this kind of money, and these people in these contracts, you can charge so much more. The reason you talk to these other high-rise window cleaning companies, the guys that have been doing it longer than me, and I don't care if they don't want to hear it because it's a plain hard cold truth. You can get more money by coming correct and looking good and charging right on the building. Some people will say, oh, you're going slow in these buildings, you know, you're going slow. It's like, you know what? We're getting 3 times the price on this building because we're taking our time. Everything comes correct on the glass, along with the guys look good. The guys are respectable. The guys you can trust to have around these people.
Let me ask you know this, okay? There's 3 kinds of buildings. Let's just talk commercial for a minute. residential is a whole nother animal, and I respect the hell out of you if you can make.
I won't
Mrs.
do
Spot happy.
residential. I
No, I mean
respect people that
residential.
can. I can't.
I mean, I'm talking about high-rise residential, like 20-story condos. There's always going to be the
I've
haunted
had to do
systems.
those.
But like commercially, a Class A building is exactly what you're saying. It's the cream of the crop job, the most maintained job. You have to qualify a lot harder, and the tenants expect pretty much perfection. A B class building is going to go half as much a year. It's going to be filthy, and the tenants reflect that. Now, a C class building, which you try to stay with, might go on call every 5 years. It's fucking filthy, and the people that live there are fucking filthy. So he's right.
And that's the thing, and I've been blessed, and at the end of the day, I can see that. I have been blessed to come on with the crew and get in with the people I did. The fact that my boss has been doing it 40 years, and we're the best in Nashville and have been. The contracts we have, there's 3 new 40-story high-rises. Do you know who they bring into the boardroom meetings to design our layout, our anchors, our track systems? It's him. We have the contracts before they're built. And to get that and get the money we get, you do have to come correct. And I'm not talking down to other people. I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, to be at these places, you do have to look respectful. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a felony record. I did time. But that's over a decade ago. Do I go broadcasting that? No, because I did clean my shit up.
Yeah, you paid your dues. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You look at what some of these guys they'll talk about online when they see my videos. Like I said, like he's slow and everything like that, but it's just like you don't if you're doing the job right, it's not about speed. You're just doing it right and making sure everything's perfect.
You're right.
It's just like
you're right.
I'm
no,
not
but on the other side of the coin,
offend
Fletcher,
anybody if it comes off that way, but it is what it is, and that's part of business. It may hurt some people's feelings, but it's the fact of the matter.
But see, that's your situation with the business, the owner that you have. In other situations, because I had this, you will be told you have to do 10 drops today. We don't care what they look like. Get 10 drops done. How many did you get done? 9. Why didn't you stay? They were locking up. You understand what I'm saying? It's
most
always
definitely.
That situation that you're in.
I mean, there's some buildings, in the past, when I first started out, they were like that. It was like, doesn't really matter. Just get it done quick. This needs to be done today. You'll need to be on this one tomorrow. Need to be on this one. There's some like that, but luckily, Nashville's growth, dude. It's insane. You look at our skyline, like in any building I'm at, dude. There's just high rises everywhere. They expect us to be bigger than New York the next 10 to 20 years. It's just like the amount of these high rises they're putting up, dude. There's so much work. The amount of companies coming in is from surrounding states. There's so much for everyone, to be honest. But it's just like, I mean,
it sounds like a good market.
There's a market, but my thing is just like I'd rather spend my time doing really good work and getting paid that instead of having to like work yourself to death on low stuff. You know what I mean? And if that includes like maintaining an appearance, then that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like lawyers and shit, they get paid what they do. They go to court in suits and shit. Everyone's got to play their part sometimes.
So I got a question for you and Mark. With all the knowledge you need to know as a high-rise guy, why is the pay so low in high-rise? That I don't understand. Like why there's no benefits, why there's no 401ks.
I can address that before.
For most part, I know some people do, but I would say as a whole, I feel like they get underpaid.
You know why? Because I'm going to only speak for my market. My market isn't like Fletcher's. My market is one company came in and bought 11 buildings in downtown Palm Beach, and they're building 4 more at the same time. And once that's done, they're going to shit on every vendor because you're going to lose everything. But the reason the pay isn't, tremendously bigger than other forms of window cleaning like you would think it should be is because of window cleaners, not because of building managers. That's a certain percentage of it. Building managers are not your friends. And management companies are not your friends. Their goal is to save the owner money, which makes them and the owners more money. Okay, so what happens is Fletcher goes into this building for $5,000. I really want to do it, so I go in for 45. Next thing you know, they bring some scab in from 50 miles away, and he's willing to do it for 35. So the budget drops. Okay, the buildings run on a budget just like you and I do at home. Okay, if you live within your means. Point being this: once the budget goes from 5,000 to cleaning to 3,500 to cleaning, and Jacob walks in there for $4,000, he ain't getting the job. I was told this by a building manager. You guys did that to your industry, not me. And he was being honest. That's why. That's why. You know,
You're right on it.
When I first started, Seth, I thought I was enamored. I started cleaning windows on the ground with my dad. My dad, I started, you know, when you're a window cleaner, you look for other window cleaners. And I'd see a guy cleaning a 10-story building. I'd park my truck and sit there for 2 hours and just watch how he was doing it. And I was like, I got to do that. I thought, this guy's got to be getting 1,000 a drop on that. It's not even close to that. You have to be efficient to make money. I'm not saying you can't make money with it, but it's just like anything else. The market is destroyed from within, not from any outside forces. Now, granted, there are areas like Fletcher, what he's saying, that are more premium. Your area is a better area than mine. We probably have more work here, but you get more for your work than I would here. So every market is individual. You know how many guys you see on Facebook and they're like, I'm canvassing the area looking for storefronts. I was taught you don't go in a storefront if it's clean. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Because that protects the industry. So if I'm doing it for 40 and you come in for 30, next thing Jacob comes in for 20, okay, who wins? Who wins? The store owner.
I win.
Working yourself to death. Otherwise, man, that was my thing, dude. Too. It's like, you know, my boss said, you know, we had really talked about for a while back where he had to stop doing it. And you're just like, you know, where are y'all's plans? And it's just like, we really just want to take yours to the next level. And that's what I talked about him a while back. I said, I can spend 10, 15, 20 years, start my own company. I said, to get to the level this one's at. I said, and fighting every other company that's coming into Nashville right now. I said, trying to build company and start up. I said, or we can take this one to the next level. I said, and just continue to take over the contracts. Because the thing is, man, is like, they've built a lot, but they're like ghosts, man. Like they've been in magazines and stuff, but these guys, like, I don't know, like still like paper, pencil, paper checks. Like they're old school, man. Like, but they're good, man. But it's just kind of, I'm excited to take that to the next level. But it's like you're saying, which is some of these buildings, I don't want to have to fight with these other people, nickel and diamond and undercutting them to do shittier work and be pushed myself to do shittier work to make money when I can continue to rise up and, you know, literally have the buildings we want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we literally pick a building. My boss is like, what do y'all want to do that one? All right, we'll bid it and see if we get it. And it's just, you know, right now there's no better way. And for me and my son, it's really nice the way things are going right now. And I like Nashville's growth. At the same time, though, it's scary as shit because there's a lot of negatives coming with it. The crime already.
One thing I realize, and I'm on both sides of the coin of doing it for someone and having people do it with me or for me. Okay. Personally, it was 3 years ago when I realized this is cash flow. It's not really a lot of money. It's cash flow. It's providing jobs. It's providing equipment. It allows me to walk into a pressure washing store and drop 5 G's on a pressure washer without thinking about it too much. Now that's gone for me. But my point is, when I started to figure out what I've always preached about, 1/3, okay, meaning this, your labor and payroll should be 1/3 of the job. 1/3 goes to the company for expenses, overhead, insurance, vehicles, and 1/3 should be profit. Okay. So if you do that math, and Seth, you come work for me and I say, Seth, I'm going to give you $200 a drop on this 10-story building, right? You say, wow, and I could do 5 a day, maybe. Yeah. If you're good. So that's $1,000 a day. That's where it should be. I need to charge $600 a drop in order for that 1/3. You understand? So if I'm charging them $600, you get your 1/3, the company gets 1/3, and 1/3 goes to profit. You ain't getting a building in downtown Palm Beach, 40 stories for $600 a drop. They will not pay that because of other window cleaners.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See,
see-
that's what I've heard, man, and that's one thing that has scared the shit out of me. And I'll go ahead and say it, dude. You know, some people may not agree with me, but we got a lot of new people in this country. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And whether they give visas, work visas or not, you know, that's a lot of blue collar workers, to be honest. And
Well,
I
yes
don't
and
want to be
no. Yes and
competing
no.
with all that, cutting throats at the fucking bottom, trying to build a
But
company when I can
Fletcher,
use our reputation to go to the
there's
next.
going to be a lot of other industries that are going to come before window cleaning. Put it that way: landscaping, lawn service, painters, trades like that. You know,
Yeah.
whether you believe it or not, what you do is highly skilled, or you don't go home that day.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The difference is you could go paint a house and it looks like shit and you don't get paid. But if you don't do everything on your checklist properly, you're probably not going home. That's the difference. So it's safer in that regard, but yeah, it's going to water down the labor pool all day
Yeah,
long.
well,
You know.
yeah. I mean, now, dude, that's I'm the same way. I remember you're real big on safety, and that's kind of how I am too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm one of those ones, dude, where I'll like if I see someone else doing something sketchy, or if I know there's someone who like will do something risky, and like we need them to move a rope on a ledge, I'll already be over there putting an anchor and like a back tie because I know they won't take the time to do it and be like, hey, go ahead and just clip this to you. Go ahead and clip this to you.
Dude,
You
I've
know,
seen
'cause
guys.
I won't risk that.
I've seen guys. When I worked for a high-rise company, and then I went back for my dad. I went back to the high-rise company in the afternoons to help him out on a big job. And I show up, and I'm like, I got my rope, I got my chair, I got my bucket. I'm like, just tell me where to start and which way to go, and leave me the fuck alone. You start here, and then you're gonna move clockwise. Okay. So I rig up. I'm working. I do a drop. I come back up. I walk by an office. We had to drop out of the windows, okay, because it was a completely sealed tile roof. So we would drop out of like the 18th floor. The windows would open up.
Did you bring those
So
big rigs inside, or did you like
yeah,
anchor on some
well,
of
that's
the
what I
big
had.
rigs that poke out?
I had a rig inside.
Yeah.
I took my roller and I didn't put the front A on it. I just laid it out the window, sticking out, 6 inches. I knew that
Yeah.
with 200 pounds of counterweight, it was the same thing as one of those, you know what I'm talking about, that Versa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had to use them.
So
Yeah.
that said, when I walk by, there's a guy and he's literally has a 2x4, Fletch, a 2x4 spanning the door frame, tied off to it with both lines.
Oh my God.
I
Where it's just
literally-
like to where the door frame's like this, and
Yes.
it's just like
Yes,
that.
the door.
Oh my
Let's
God.
say the door frame is 3 feet. This 2x4 was like 4.5 feet. So I literally pulled my ropes up, grabbed my gear. I didn't say a word. I fucking left. The next day, the guy I used to work for called me. He's like, "What happened?" I go, "I don't want no part of this." I go,
No.
"Your guy's tied to." Oh wait, let me fix this. He's tied to a 2x4 and tied back to a fucking doorknob. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
dude.
A doorknob across the hall. And I realized it when I had to do the limbo under his shit. And that's when I said what I said to you before. If I see this guy that I don't know and I don't give a shit about fall 20 stories to his death, I'm done. That's it
Yeah,
for me.
dude. It would ruin it for me, man. It would ruin it for most people. Nobody wants to see that, especially probably one of your buddies.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't imagine that, man. Heaven forbid the people that have had to go through it, to be honest,
That's fucking stupid. It just
Yeah.
Insane way to live your life.
But the thing is, there's a lot going, TJ.
Seth.
Yeah,
so-
I was just saying that's an insane way to live your life. Like trusting your life with a 2x4 is like you don't value yourself. Like,
Right.
That's insane.
Right.
It's an insane thing to do.
Right. I mean, we had a building, it was only 6 stories, and it had it was open parking on the roof. Okay. And I always thought it was sketchy to tie back to my trailer hitch. I didn't like
Yeah.
that. I didn't
I've
like
had
that.
to do a few on my truck, and like
Yeah.
I've had to anchor to my truck a few times on
Yeah.
this one building to get to an atrium over
Right.
out of a parking garage. Same thing to get to an atrium, and I'll sit there and do the anchors like you were towing it on it. I'm just like, I trust you, baby, but please,
Yeah.
hold fast.
It just it's as much mental as it is physical. If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
comfortable with we used to have a building we did with 24-foot davits, and we'd tie between the davits, or we'd put a ratchet strap in there, like a tug strap in there. And I didn't like, because you're side loading whatever it is you're tied to, whether it's a strap or a rope. Okay, you're side loading the rope. So what you got to think of is this rope is good for 5,000 pounds, but when you side load it, you're literally taking 50% of the strength of the rope away.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd climb in your chair and it would settle up, but you'd drop down 2 feet. I never liked that. I always liked a permanent certified anchor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the good thing is, with the new laws and everything, as much as business owners don't like them, it is a safer environment if you used everything the right way it's designed for.
That's the thing. I agree with you on that, because there's so many buildings where I've had to use weights, or like the old Cummins station in Nashville. You know, you're rigging off some sus shit there. Like, I'll open up the old elevator shafts on the roof, you know, and these are like 114 years old, and you're anchoring that old steel up on the roof and coming out there with like 17 rope guards. And it's like, you know, it'll work, you know, but I agree with you. I do like the certified anchors, but that's where I'm also going to circle back to, you know, I do think eventually, you know, I do like rack and bars. I do like everything like that. But the safety aspect of, there's a lot less fuck up that can happen when you're using those descent devices.
Yes, because they stop automatically.
There's a lot less accidents that may or may not happen. And I feel like eventually those are going to be required, period. You know, and rack and bar will go out along with cylinders, along with things like that. They will, as much as we love them for the speed and maneuverability they are, and they're the most fun. They are the most fun. Because at the end of the day, none of us is going to be up there on the ropes if we don't actually enjoy what we're doing. You know, when I have to do lobbies, I have to do storefronts. It's like, I enjoy doing them. I enjoy making them look nice. But what I really enjoy is getting out on the ropes, you know what I mean, and just being on those. And I think that's how most of us high-rise guys are. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, Seth, you asked, you know, I just don't understand how the pay is so low. And it's a joke we all joke about. Well, we're paid to clean windows. You know, we're not paid to repel. You know, so we'll joke about that sometimes.
Well, I mean, think of it like this. If you narrow it down, Fletcher, and you say, let's just say hypothetically you get 150 a drop on a job, right? Mm-hmm. If you didn't know what you were doing but could take a crash course, and someone gave you a piece of rope and you knew you were going to be safe, would you climb over that wall for $150? Fuck no, you wouldn't. Not most people.
No.
Not most people. Wouldn't they be like, what are you, fucking crazy?
No, you know, most people would not.
Yeah. I only did it because obviously I thought the money was there. But when you realize the money's not there, there is a thrill. There is, I'm sure you know, you drive by a building when you're done and it's just sparkling. A feeling of accomplishment, you know.
Oh yeah, there's no better feeling when you see them shining. You know,
guys that work for me, one was at 17 years and one is at 16 years, and the 16-year one is still working for me. I watched we all grew old together.
Yeah.
Okay, so they started with me being on the couch tour, sleeping on someone's apartment couch, to being homeowners and then parents. And that's when the hourglass turns over. You understand what I'm saying? They start to see that baby. They start to have the responsibility of home ownership. They don't want to work weekends. They don't want to travel 200 miles and stay in a hotel to get this job done. Okay? And we all grew old together to where we just don't want it anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's very few guys that go into their, and I could be wrong, but up into their 50s and still do it with the passion that you would do it with.
Dude, that's like my boss, man. He's 64 now. And like I said, he trained me and had the biggest passion for it. But something happened to him that made him not be able to do it, hang on ropes anymore. But that man, I mean, dude, he loves it. You know, when we do interiors, you know, he'll occasionally show up. But that man, like, he takes so much pride in what he does, man. And so does his twin brother. You know, they're just two twins. But those two, like, I don't know what they would do with themselves if they couldn't go downtown and look at the buildings and be working. Like,
well, after 40 years, that's what they know.
Well, he's even working right now. You know, right now we're on 1200 Broadway. Started that window cleaning today because we just finished another building yesterday. But Monday I was over at Viridian, which is a huge project we're doing, on, pressure washing, painting, restoring all the glass on all 31 stories. And so that building he's even been doing in the top, three stories of the 31, goes out onto a landing, and he's down there every day painting, doing stuff, running pressure washers, because he enjoys it, you know what I mean, and likes being out there. He said it's what keeps him young, what keeps him healthy. And he'll just sit there when he sees us on 505, which is across the alleyway, on the 50-story all glass. He'll be sitting there just watching us. We can see him as we're coming down. He'll be sitting on that top landing, 28 stories up, just watching us, doing some painting down there. Like that, man, like I was saying, the passion he has, man. But it's like, the reason I want to stay with him so much is just like, man, he's all about family and with the guys we have. Like when we had a party at his house this summer, just like a work party, my son has autism, he's a little loud. He doesn't talk. We go over there. Everyone's in the pool playing volleyball. He gets in the water with my son and is playing with my son, bopping around. We're all playing cornhole. Everyone up there, he stops to play with cornhole with my son, has other people playing with my son.
He's a good man. He's a good family man. Yeah.
Man, dude.
Well, not only that, Fletcher, but pay your dues, and you might end up with an opportunity somewhere down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With that company.
Well, that's my thing. Is I've had already, man. I had one guy ask me to move out to Phoenix and run his high-rise company. I had someone else out in Washington ask me to move out there and run his. But the thing is, dude,
give it to me
I
harder,
don't want to run
boy.
anybody else's besides my own, unless I'm running my bosses with my boss and my best friends, which we plan on doing. I want to do that
is the
plan
smoothest pole
just
I've ever felt
huge,
going in and
but
out.
the way we want to do it, it's the same thing like you said. Your whole crew kind of got older, and you all don't have it anymore. My boss felt the same way, and now he's got 3 guys there. He was just like, I can either be done or I can keep it going. I can't do the ropes anymore. If y'all fuck it up, you fuck it up. And we've had it going for a year and a half now, just humming and getting new contracts in. And so that's why we talked to him. We're like, man, we want to take this to the next level with the growth. I was like, I can get you the guys. I was like, you don't need to put these newspaper ads out anymore. I said, because I want to get you young guys. I got permission to do that. And I got 3 of them last week, so it's just like, we got a lot of big plans, and we're all thinking that way. And it's just,
so
I'm
how many of the 3 you think are
I'm
going to make
excited.
it?
You
think you'll keep 2 of the 3?
Huh?
There's no way you're keeping all 3. Not that
no way
can't.
I'm keeping all 3. But the thing
I'm saying of the 3, how many you think are going to make it?
Well, this is the thing. I just trained 2 of them, not these 3, 2 a while back that my boss hired. And I don't have anything against giving people a second chance. I have a record, but he hired someone that was like 57 and one that was like almost 60, in bad shape. Just
for high rise.
For high rise, and I told him, I was like, bro, you'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 years, even if they're trained.
Right.
I said, the thing is, and this is the thing, I always told people when I put content online on TikTok and stuff like that, they're like, I don't do it for the money. I don't even get money from it. If it goes away, it goes away. But that's 256,000 people right now that are interested in window cleaner or what I do, and the amount of messages I get a day, on a regular basis of these young kids that are coming out of high school that don't want to go to college. And end up locked up for a while and have to start over. If I can get to them and get them a passion, and I've got a boss who's backing me to do that and get this,
that's a great scenario.
That's what I want. Like if I can do that, that's what I want. And like the ones that have reached out, one of them, he's 22 and he propelled helicopters in the military. Really wants to do it. He's stoked and work warehouse jobs. Hates it. 2 other ones rock climb for a living. Have done real big rock climbs. They're super interested in it. Been following for a long time. Love the work, and that's why I've tried to put up videos of just like of the training, of the hardship, of the bullshit. Which a lot of people don't watch. But the people that are truly interested in what we do, those are the ones I want to try and get to. And it's just like I'm excited about that because I want to beef this crew up to have like 10. At least 10, 20 in the 20s, young 20s, just humming it out with the next year, because it's going to take, we got our busy season coming right now. And I mean, it's great that we have so many projects. My boss will kind of teach them on the low shit right then, teach them how to do it, get them repelling on some of this other stuff. But then they get thrown with us and it's either like, you're going to make it or you're not, you know what I mean, at that time. So I don't know. I'm excited, but at the end of the day, it's hard work, especially for new people.
Yeah.
Getting your body into it, man. Getting up and doing this shit every day is hard work. I mean, some days you wake up and that alarm goes off at 5:45, and you're like, I have to go jump off a 540-foot building in 2 hours.
Right,
It's
right.
just like I don't, And
Most
some
of your
days,
buildings go how many times a year up there?
it depends on the contract. We have a few state contracts, they're only once a year. Most of the high rises are all two. Some of the
Yeah.
really, really nice ones, they'll even do three, man.
Yeah.
And that's really nice because you got one doing it 3 times a year. You already
Yeah, it's a
know,
cakewalk.
it's
We got some here that
it's
go 4
easy.
times
You
a
just
year.
maintain it.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard we had a couple that were supposed to be 4, and after like 2 cleans, they get dropped down real quick.
Yeah, well, we're also on the water, so
Ooh.
if it rains and the wind's blowing the wrong way, you just did a drop, and you're not going to go back and redo it. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, in certain instances,
Oh yeah.
but it could be trashed in 50. Like downtown Palm Beach is 5 miles from an airport, so you got jet fuel and everything when the jets come over, okay, and then 5 miles from the ocean. So when you got a western wind, it's bringing all that salt. They're filthy at 4 times a year. You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, with all the construction downtown, that's kind of what's happening with that.
Yeah.
We got some contracts that, when I started, we clean it, come back 6 months, wouldn't be that bad. But now you've got,
Yeah.
3 new high rises that have been built, 3 more that are being built all around it. They're staying dirty, man. I counted, I
Yeah.
think it was like 35 high rise cranes from one vantage point the other day.
Wow.
Just all around. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at in Nashville, in any building, you can at least count 10 to 15. But in
Who the
some of the
fuck is
hot
renting all
spots,
this office space? That's what I want to know.
everywhere, it's that and the amount of high-rise condominiums and hotels they're putting up, dude. The
Yeah.
combinations of those with the big bougie restaurants and
Yeah.
like places down underneath them, like Broadway has turned into a shit show. I haven't been there in years now. Well, I've been like the last year, but not frequent like I used to.
Yeah.
It's like I said, there's pros and cons, man. Like the money's nice, the traffic's not, the crime's not. All that's already going up and it's noticeable. So
Yeah.
that's shitty. But
Yeah.
at least I don't
Any
live
close
there.
calls over the past year? Any mistakes that you made or equipment failures or anything like that?
No equipment failures. I'm sure I've done something. Oh, I did have we were on one build like you were talking about, some that aren't running guns, and it was built for stages, you know what I mean? Like for stage anchors. They don't have actual davits, you know what I mean, for us. And so you're having to literally like Y-tie from different angles for every single drop you do. And I had been doing Y-ties, but when I do Y-ties, I also do also stable back tie somewhere else too. I know some people will just do one anchor, then the other anchor and Y-tie. That's good. I will take the tail and go tie it around something else.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I did that
time. And I went to go over on one building, and this is one of those buildings where you got to hit like 10 drops a day to make $400, and you're out there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. skipping lunch. You know what I mean? You got to grind. And so we were going. It was like the 7th, 8th drop, and I go over the wall, man, and I just started going down and started stretching. There's first window. I started going past it. It wasn't like fast or anything, just kept going. I looked at my buddy, I was like, dude, what the fuck? And his eyes got huge. He's like, dude, why are you still going? I just kept going. Then my back tie and I guess the one anchor of the Y tie initially caught. But I went down probably about 2.5 stories on that one. And rappelled down and came out there. I mean, I knew exactly what it was. I was like, dude, I guarantee it was that.
You pulling all the slack out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to the back. Exactly. It was just a slow stretch.
Well, see, that's what's nice about a rack. I told the story last week. We did a condo and we had a wall clamp it. And so what we did was we thought we were smart. We wall clamped the back wall and then go about 75, 85 feet across the roof on a 4-foot parapet and then do the drop. Well, the nice thing about the rack is you can rack your chair up 4 feet from the wall, pull it, throw it over the wall, and I don't have a lot of experience with the new descenders, but if you lock a rack off and get 2 guys pulling that rope and drop it off the wall, it ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I racked up and another guy was right next to me and he did the same thing. I'm looking at him and both of his lines are just, I'm like,
Just
dude, you didn't
stretched
pull the
out?
slack out. Yeah, well, the rope stretches without.
Well, that's how it, dude. A genie, my genie, those genie. I don't actually use genie lines, but the lines I use, dude. If I don't pull the slack out of those, they will stretch. I did, that they will stretch, and that's. But I don't know, dude. I have seen some issues with the descenders getting jammed. So it's just like they both have their pros and cons as well. Like I saw one guy, he was using one of those descenders, and I guess we had been doing a lot of pressure washing as well. And so his rope really swelled, you know what I mean? And so it made it to where he couldn't even really go down. Like he just got fucking stuck on this thing. And that's really the only issue I've seen malfunction. He had to do a transfer, onto a cylinder.
Yeah.
But
Carry that way. 10 windows for $30. Who the hell is doing that?
What?
Somebody said, I've seen an ad to clean 10 windows for $30 today. Scrub and wash.
Splash and dash. Yeah.
That doesn't
Well,
surprise
again,
me.
that's what happens in the industry, whether you're doing buildings, storefronts, or houses. I mean, the difference with the houses, you become a personal relationship because they're allowing you in their house. So if someone cuts the price, there's a good chance that if they're happy with you, they're not going to entertain it. But an office building, I mean, you get in with the managers and the chief engineers. I always did. They're like, how did you get parking under garage? Because I got a pass because the building manager said to me, here, park your truck in the shade, and you fucking park out in the sun. You know what I'm saying? But those are relationships that you build.
they are, man. That's the same thing. So you have such a similar, that's like the first time I talked with you. You have such a similar mindset as my boss, because he has the same mindset with like manners, like they may say, you all need to park on the street in that parking lot, but then you come in and you're talking to that security at the front gate, you're like, how was your morning? You having a good morning today? And you made her day. Every other day she's smiling at you. She opens that arm gate. You are now parking over there. She has no problem that you're moving a cone for the painted section, and it's just like, it goes a long way, man. It really does.
But you know what, though? You got to be humble, too. I remember working in one of the Nicholas properties, and I remember getting in an elevator in the garage. They had an elevator, went to the garage, and I get in an elevator, and this guy, the door closes, and we start going up, and he's like, what, no good morning? And I looked at him, and I go, I've said good morning 3 times to 3 different people, 3 different suits, I go, and they look at me like I'm a disease. I go, so I'd rather not have the rejection, but good morning. You know what I'm saying? You got to be humble a little bit,
I had one of those today, dude. I got in the elevator actually with this really good looking couple. They were a really good looking couple. And so we got in with them, asked them, hey, how are the day? And you could just tell the look in their face. They're like, fine. Didn't ask any. Just kind of looked down. We're like, all right, sorry, we'll get to the side. You know what I mean? And it's like, some people are that way. It's just at the end of the day, I don't let that get to me, man, because it's not worth being upset over. It's really not.
No.
It's just,
no.
It's not.
No, it's not worth the aggravation. But, like you said, that the buildings change with how often they clean, what their budget is, how nice they are, how they care about the maintenance. But like you said, county jobs. I did a couple county jobs, and I was just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, it was brutal.
They suck.
Brutal, yeah.
They do, man.
So
they never pay too great either.
No, and then it's 90 days.
They're just filler jobs for the
I
most
did a
part.
library down here, and it was like a $7,000 job, and it's 90 days to get paid, and they tell you up front, and they had this slanted skylight over the main entrance. It went up 2 stories, and you could tell it'd been skipped every time. It looked like they took a garden hose to it. We scrubbed that thing and scoured it, and they even sent me a letter saying how happy we were with the work and how professional we were with it. Well, the next year when it goes out for bid every year, because it was a county job, it wasn't like a 5-year contract. It was as needed. and then they're like, yeah, someone's $600 less. You got first right of refusal. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna wait 90 days to get paid and do it for less.
It's just kind of disrespectful too at the same time, and that's like one of those things where that's that same mindset. If we come to a building and it looks like shit, and we spend the time to wipe out every single window, bust out, the BioClean if you have to, and really get if you really got to use, the washes, the chemicals, and get all that going on and get it to where it needs to be, and then we maintain it. It's like, if you go with someone else after that, don't call us back. You know what I mean? That's just kind of, I don't know, because that's just kind of a slap in the face to me. You know what I mean? Like, all the work you did to get it to that point when everyone else said, fuck you, you're not paying enough for us to do that. Y'all took the time to do it at that price when no one else would. And because it's not going to be as hard of a job for anyone else who comes to do it now. If they've bid it and looked like, oh, that's not that bad. This doesn't look that bad. We can come in at this. Then they're going to go with him. In my opinion, fuck you then. Go with them. I want nothing to do with you. But,
I don't know. We dabbled in the residential high-rise. We had 3 20-story towers, and they were all, the cheapest unit, and there was like $1.2 million, okay? And it was like, they treated myself and my employees like complete dog shit. I mean, like,
there's a couple
one of them would call me and go like, I'm at wit's end with these people. First of all, they make you take the freight elevator. You can't go in the regular elevator, which means you got to send the other ones up to get the padded one, And then like they'd call. I'd walk into the building and tell the building manager who worked for the board, I'm like, listen, you guys are talking to my employees like they're shit dirtbags. I go, we're going to finish this up and we're done. What? Yeah, we're finishing this up and we're done. I go, I'm not going to have my employees talk to like they're peasants. They're not. They're highly trained guys that are very professional. But when your tenants are just bitching at them and fucking, that's when I said we're going back fully commercial. I didn't want it.
Yeah, commercial is like commercial. Sometimes I've noticed. I know you've been doing it way longer than me, clearly. But what I've noticed is like commercial, it may not pay as much as like these high-rise hotels and stuff. But they are so laid back, so chill.
No, they're happy someone showed up and did something for them.
Exactly. They're so chill. If you're like, it was a little windy on this side. Sorry, we got a few of those looking rough. Oh, no, it looks great. Y'all are good. I appreciate you guys. You do that at an all-glass, residential building. It's like, what happened here? What was going on?
As I've said before, when you do a condo, they physically own that window in their mind. You understand? Whereas some office manager's happy to see someone clean the window. They're not judging anything. But when you physically own that window in Unit 12A, they're going to call and complain if there's a paint speck on it. I used to go, when was this building painted? 10 years ago? Well, you've been looking at that for 10 years. Now you're going to scream about it? I didn't see it.
We had to go back because last year we were doing one building, and we did the drops on it, right? And after this, the person opened up their window, and this other guy came down and did a drop, and the runoff from his stuff, dripped onto that window being open, right? Yeah. This guy complained, and my buddy had to go back over. He was like, dude, that drop was perfect. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's because he opened his window, and it was just adamant. So he had to jump off, 45-story building, rappel down to the 23rd one. And he was like, I'm just bringing microfibers. He was like, I am not cleaning that all the way down. He said, if I can fix it with microfibers, that's what's getting done. So I think that's what he ended up doing. But yeah, some of them, man, it's like building management, like they kind of know they're being a little extra about it, but they're just like, hey man, like I'm kind of in a tough spot here. So I'm gonna need you to please.
Yeah, right. Right.
Sometimes you just have to, though.
Yeah. It's always an experience. You'll never, Fletch, I will tell you this. When you think you've seen everything, 2 days you're going to see something that you can't fucking believe your mind. I mean. Yeah. It's always something.
I often worry, man. My mind goes to like the worst scenarios sometimes. I'm just like with everything going on in our country, Nashville's growth. I'm just like, that just makes us a hot spot for a terrorist attack.
Right.
I said, so I'm going to hate it one day if I'm on the side of one of these buildings and I see something going down, or even heaven forbid, I hope it doesn't happen to any of them, but if it's on one I'm on, you know, it's like, you think back to like 9/11 and stuff like that. It's, that only took like what, 12 dudes?
There's another 9/11 coming, trust me.
Oh, dude, I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
I can feel it in my bones.
Hey, let's not talk about that, or we're gonna get pulled down.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a funny story, Fletch, because, and I've said this before, and TJ's gonna roll his eyes because I probably said it 5 times, but I had a building, 23 stories, and I used to buy. My guys at that time liked Joy soap, not Dawn, right? So I'd buy a 5-gallon bucket, and they'd give me a Gatorade bottle, water bottle, bring me soap tomorrow. So I fill up these big half-gallon Gatorade bottles with soap, with Joy soap, right? And this building, the top 2 floors were penthouse privately owned tenants, and the rest was commercial office space. So when you came out of the elevator, there was an access door to a walk around the perimeter, and there was a sink basin there where the tenants would put their garbage and the building would take it out. And so they would dump their buckets out at the end of the drop and come up with an empty bucket and fill it every time. So they had 2-gallon jugs of Joy, but they were in Gatorade bottles sitting on the sink basin. I'll never forget, it was a Wednesday. I'm washing work, getting ready to head to the building, and the building manager calls me frantic. You got to get up here now. We got a huge problem. I go, is everybody okay? Yeah, everybody's okay. Your guys are on the side, but we're going to call them in as soon as they hit the ground. I'm like, I'm on my way. I leave what I'm doing. I go up there, and I walk into this meeting with the building manager, the whole janitorial staff. There's like 20 people in the room, and I walk in. I'm like, what's going on? Well, your employees took it upon themselves, rather than use the bathroom, which they have a swipe card to use, to urinate in Gatorade bottles and put them on the sink basin. And one of the tenants was throwing the trash out, called the office and complained. And the janitorial staff refused to touch the bottles. Okay, so my engineering staff had to throw it away. And I go, are you fucking kidding me? I said it like that. And they're like, what? And I go, so you have how many bottles? 2. One was half full and the other one was completely full. And I go, okay. And they were the same color, yellow, right? Well, yeah. I go, nobody picked them up to see that it was a thick liquid in there. I go, you just threw out a gallon of soap. What? I swear to God, Fletch, I'm not kidding you. I go, now I have to leave and go get them more soap because they don't have any more soap. That was just delivered to them on Monday. Today is Wednesday. So when you think you've seen it all, you haven't. I'm in the room with all these educated people. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, dude.
These people are 6-figure managers. Yeah. Oh,
what gets me the most, dude, is like, it happened to me today, dude. I was cleaning this lady's windows, and she comes out on her balcony, and I'm like down in between these 2 balconies, just on like this window. She comes out on her balcony, and she was like, hey, how are you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. How you doing today? She was like, good. And she was like, are y'all gonna clean the balconies today? And it's like 3:30 at this time, and I was like, not today. She was like, oh, are y'all gonna do them? And I was like, I mean, yeah, but not today.
Right.
It's like some people just think like you can come in there, and it's like some people either think it takes us a year to do one building, or they think we should have it all done in a day. Right. There's no in between. A lot of people don't think logically on how long it would take to do that.
Yeah. Oh no, we had one of those 20-story towers. The penthouse was an architect, and he had the whole entire top floor. So he stops us, and he goes, you guys cleaned 5 of my windows, and you stopped. And I'm like, well, that was a day. They did 5 drops this way, and the other guy did 5 drops the other way. And he goes, I want my entire unit done on the same day. And I go, that's not possible, because I try to explain to him.
Yeah, the way we set up. Yeah.
Yes. I go, and we're going off a tile roof, okay? And he used to get pissed because we'd have to drop from the tile, hit his balcony, come over the glass railing, wrap the rope guards, and then drop again. You understand?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm an architect. You need to figure out a system that will allow you to do my entire unit all on the same day. I go, so we're going to do 23rd floor all the way around and nobody below. And he goes, yeah. And I go, that's not going to happen. I go,
No, the only way you could make that work is if you doubled the amount of guys you had on the
yeah,
wall.
yeah, or a roller
don't-
track system on a tile roof. It's
Yeah.
not possible.
It's silly, and they don't think about the fact that, like, it's like, yeah, technically we could do it all in one day, but do we be cleaning in the sun the second half of the day?
Right.
Or the conditions that are going on. People just don't. Some of the smartest people that you see in these places, I've come to realize, are just dumb. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't get it.
You ever drop off a roller track?
You mean like
an overhang that has, they don't make it. I don't see it very common anymore.
with the monorail system? The monorail?
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually what a lot of the new buildings that are getting built in Nashville. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like that new one, I'm starting it next month, the exteriors, but that one, each drop, dude, you're transferring, you're coming down, and then you're doing a step out, and then coming down, and then you've got to go in like 4 or 5 feet and get on monorail and transfer to another one and go into that and then drop down and then come out and step out another one and then go down and then go under again onto another monorail on that side. And then some of the other sides, you'll come out on like the Sky Bridge and rappel down and connect onto one monorail and go underneath it and do this inset that's actually underneath a rooftop pool and do 8 stories down on that one. Yeah. And on the other side, you have to climb 8 stories. Like, some of these ones they're building, dude, like, luckily the monorail's in there. Otherwise, it would be all fucking overhangs and pole work. Which you can do it. That's like a Shurion in downtown Nashville, that building. Yeah, the overhangs I do on that building, the initial, the engineer and actually the blueprints of that building, they actually have the monorail for those overhangs. But I guess it came out of the budget when it was getting built. So now you just do it with real big ass poles and do it, that way. But it seems like some of these places are starting to do at least the monorail more, because if you sell it as like, well, we can actually get hand to glass that way and maintain it a lot better. Instead of
and much more efficient than going over 5.
You can just clean it a lot better too. You can get it cleaned a whole lot better, because there's some buildings where you have to do those overhangs where it's like your pole is stretched out 12 feet at an angle and to the right, you know what I mean? And you can tell no one's ever been able to get that good. It was never construction clean, so it always looks rough, and it's just like, it's nice to see some buildings are willing to actually put the money in for it. Plus, I don't know, it's safer all around. You know what I mean? For people down below and for guys like us, just to have the monorail.
Usually window cleaning other than anchor points is just an afterthought. They don't think about how it's going to be maintained.
They do not, man.
Yeah.
That's for us to figure out.
We had a building that had a sign up on the 23rd floor, and it was about 10 foot down on a high parapet, and they're like, since you guys know what you're doing, are you interested in taking the sign down? And I'm like, well, how did they get that sign up there? With a tower crane or something? And he's like, yeah. And the problem was that it was a LED lit sign, and usually they'll put the ballasts or the electronics inside the building up under the ceiling tiles for service. Well, they were within the letters of the sign, and it started to fail. So then we looked into it, and we were like, well, we could put a swing stage up, and we can load, take the letters down one at a time, because they were huge. Well, it turns out when the building looked into it, you're not allowed to ride on a swing stage or any equipment like that with that
letters.
Yes, with anything, whether it would be a radio tower, a cell phone repeater. It's got to go down on its own. So you would have to lower it down with a rope. Like, we're out.
Yep.
That's one thing I'd love to learn more about, and I haven't got to do a lot of that. Like, I've done painting, acid washing, restoring, the pressure washing, the works of our trade. But there's a whole other side of rope access, like installing those signs, installing windows, where you'll see those guys on ropes. That is so interesting to me. To watch them do that's a whole other side I want to learn, because those guys, I've got a lot of respect for those guys. I know those are the ones that if I'm not mistaken, they actually have to go to school. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, there's more a learning curve. I mean, we used to do a lot of caulking or wet sealing.
Yeah, we do that too. Yeah.
That's, and I tell people right up front, I'm not a licensed waterproofer, so we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And you're not coming back when the
The
old
first question Mark
Yeah,
has is,
yeah.
Is the black cock bigger than the white cock?
Depend. Yeah.
Yeah, you always get that phone call. Oh, so and so's got a few leaks. Gotta go do a little
Yeah,
copy.
yeah. No, I learned my lesson early on. We did some
Yeah.
Getting
minor
caulking
caulking
back.
work, and
Oh,
then they
yeah.
replaced.
Caulking pays good though.
Yeah, it does. Oh, the caulking guys, they charge 10 times what window cleaners do.
Oh yeah, it is
But
great.
they won't do one
Caulking's
window
chill.
for the most part. They want to do the whole wall.
There's one guy on our crew. He's great, dude. He's like 67. His name is Robert, and dude's been doing it probably 25, 30 years. But he's just like lived a wild life. You know what I mean? So he's 67. But
Yeah.
this guy, he's a caulking machine, dude. But he'll get out there. You'll see him out there on his rope at 6 a.m. But he's gonna be off by like 2.
Yeah.
But he'll get out there, man, and he don't do as much window cleaning anymore because it's you got to move. But caulking, it pays so well, and
Yeah.
the drops take a long time, so
Yeah.
that really works out well for him. But that dude, I love when I go to buildings, where he's done the caulking on them, because dude, his caulking,
It's done right. Yeah.
and he caulks them so good for window cleaners with the
Yeah.
perfect seal for you to close out good.
Yeah.
It's just like, I love going to buildings and you can just appreciate some good, someone with just knows what they're doing, So you'll
Yep.
come to some of them, dude, and it's just jaggedy as fuck. and
Oh
you
yeah.
take your squeegee, you just can't even get a straight line. It's just like,
No.
Jesus.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, dude.
TJ, how have you been, man?
Pretty good, man. Living the dream, as always.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
I've actually had some fun with some water-fed poles this summer, or this winter, so that was fun.
So when you look at me, you immediately like attach water-fed pole to me.
No, I was looking at the one right behind you.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
Picture.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one I designed.
Well, yeah, I told my boss about that one actually, but he's, like I said, he's a little bit, when it comes to gear, he'd rather buy cheaper to sit, you know what I mean? So it's like, but we're slowly getting him onto that. We did get the zero system and everything like that, and got Big Squeegee sent me a badass custom pad, one of those scrub pads for him. And I love that thing.
Big
It's
scrubber.
it's made a Shurion's. There's part of a Shurion where you can either do like 8-foot overhangs and drop like way. I mean, you're using like 12 foot of a pole and it's not coming out good at all. You know what I mean? And so it's like, to be able to use that water-fed pole, even though you're having to get it like 40 foot
Mark
up
designed
there.
that swivel.
Huh?
Mark designed that swivel.
Oh, on Mike's. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's pad thing.
It's fantastic, man. And like, I wasn't a fan of just the water-fed poles, with just the scrubby brush thing, just the brush. But actually having that walnut pad, thing, man, it does a world of difference. It actually has me a big fan of those for stuff like that. Because there's some buildings. I did one about 2 months ago, and it was just this little 3-story building that we used to do all up ropes. You'd have to move weights around the whole thing, and it's like, there's like 120 drops on the building, like it's real long, it's not tall. And it was so nice because I actually just brought that water-fed pole system out there, and I was going to bring my son with me. So when I was out there during the day working, I was doing that shit. When I got off, or when he got out of school, I'd go pick him up and bring him back. And man, he loved just carrying the hoses behind me.
Oh yeah.
he even got to do the bottom ground levels, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was nice to see. Even when we went inside and did all the interiors, man, like floor after floor after floor, it looked great, So it's like, I've really
it's got
come
its
around with those.
it's got its place. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's a moneymaker.
It is a moneymaker, man.
Yeah.
It is definitely, because some of those buildings, man, where it's like, you'd be going out there and you'd be out there all day doing drops to make $200 and $250, and now you can go out there with a water-fed pole and knock out 3 days worth of drop work in one fucking day.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's
So
good to have it as an option, But see, you were introduced to that long after you know how to clean windows. So
Oh, yeah.
I learned how to clean windows with a water-fed pole.
I don't believe
That's how I started out.
You had a stupid fucking aluminum fucking dumb Tucker pole. I fucking hated that thing.
Yeah.
I remember using that like 15 years ago. I was like, dude, water-fed pole is the gayest thing I've ever done. I pinched my hand so many times on that stupid clamp.
That's
like,
like
the gayest thing you ever done, other than the time you
like,
stuck
that
your
would
penis in
come
your mouth.
down and fuck your whole day up. I was like, I hate this thing.
Yeah.
Or the stupid, what was that, like under tablets for the brush?
Yeah, the soap tablets.
I hated that thing too. And this thing sucks.
As long as I don't see you with like the full fucking back thing with the little mirror so you can be looking at that and watching it, man. Like the water-fed pole is one thing, but I don't know about the whole back satchel with the mirror.
I have all that
You
stuff.
have to
I have
look
the
up.
glasses.
That just seems a bit much.
I have the
for
glasses
me.
and the anchoring system, so I don't have to hold the pole.
That thing that you strap on your back that has the spring-loaded.
That
It's the
thing.
best invention.
Oh, that is the gayest thing ever.
Nah, it works great. I love it. I love mine.
I'm sure it works great, but
I love mine. It works great. Especially on all those 2-story houses I do.
Ooh.
Yeah, the real
Works
big
great
stuff.
on those 3-story Burger Kings.
Yeah.
The big Burger King.
Jacob, you've been putting out quite the TikToks lately. Jacob.
Have I?
See now your name's Jacob? Yeah, you respond when I say, hey.
Yeah, I was letting you finish.
That was it. I just said, hey, I've seen you do a lot of TikToks lately.
Thank you. Yeah, you look at them, but you don't fucking like them, you piece of shit.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, if it's cool, I like it. Yeah.
He's not going to like it just because he's your fucking friend. He's going to like it because it's good. If it's not good...
I thought you would quit window cleaning, so I wasn't sure. And then I see all your videos.
Well,
I'll
lie. I watch yours. I like your shit even though it's not good because I'm your friend.
Well, I like and share yours just because I try to be supportive of you, and not necessarily it's good. Just like that last video you posted was fucking trash.
We're gonna do each other favors. That's what we're supposed to do. We're buddies.
Exactly.
Orange Crush.
Your response videos are what crack me up, though. I actually think I watched one this morning as soon as I woke up to people's comments.
Why did you use a pole for that window?
Just BT just walking for like the first 10 seconds, just staring.
You see that he deleted his comment? He replied to mine.
Yeah.
That's some push shit. Stand by your comment, dude. I've written some horrible things on TikTok and then people respond in videos. And I'm like, never taking it down.
Yeah.
Never.
I don't delete anything.
Wow.
You need to go back to high school.
Well, yeah. I wish. I can't wait till I go to high school.
I'll finish high school. He said
finish whatever.
He said finish. You should have finished high school. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But you know what I said.
Oh, of course. I have it saved in my phone.
Of course you do.
Well, I have to save all the fucked up stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you do. You just send me screenshots of
you're in no danger of it going anywhere unless TikTok takes it down, because I'm not taking it down because I don't give a fuck.
I was using it at TikTok, but...
Well, you go ahead. You should do that. Hopefully it's a Jersey one.
That's what he usually does. It's Jersey or Steve-O doing
something. Are you still fucking with
Every time I see it, I'm like, God damn it.
I haven't in a while.
Jersey don't even watch the show anymore because of Jacob.
Hey,
he's like, well, I can't watch it.
He acknowledged me.
I can't watch. Hey, look at this dickhead. Here's another one. Here's another asshole that stood us up. Piece of shit, Luke. Fucking asshole, Luke the window cleaner. What a dick.
Dude, his videos were...
they were really good.
They helped me a lot when I first started, man, with technique. Like, they helped me a lot.
He shot really good videos. Now he's like this fucking like John Wick character now. He just shoots shit all the time. That's all he cares about is shooting shit.
Well, that's the thing. You ground guys.
You killed this fucking dog.
Dude, listen, dude. If you call me a ground guy or anything like that one more fucking time, I'm going to turn this fucking podcast off. It was going to be a compliment.
I just didn't finish it. Like, it was going to be a really good compliment. I was going to say, y'all's attention to detail.
You and Mark's can eat my entire fucking nutsack.
Who the fuck would ever eat your nuts?
You and Mark can blow me all the way down to the root of my fucking cock.
You're doing high
all
rise.
The way down to the root.
Your work always has to
ground
look good.
guy. I spent fucking 98% of my life on a fucking 28-foot ladder. You're gonna call me a fucking ground guy? Ground this dick into your asshole.
But if you ever pull that thing out,
fuck
you. Anything that can be done off a ladder or a pole, I consider groundwork. That's what we call groundwork. You know what I mean?
I'm the ground
I don't because you're not using.
Can I get your lunch pail, Mark?
Negative way.
Fletcher, would you like some hydration? Here's a bottle of water. The ground guy. Fuck out of here. Let's continue talking about rope shit, okay?
That's the most important stuff, though. That is the most important
sporting
thing.
I'm sorry, Luke. Sporting clays. He's not.
You
just
don't want your shitty employees
birds
doing
and sporting clays
work at the entryways and all the.
What happened?
Foul. What is that? What is it? Foul. What do they call it? Waterfowl and shit like that. Pigeons.
Waterfowl.
He shoots pigeons and all kinds of shit. That's what Luke does. I tried to give you guys Luke the Window Cleaner podcast, but he stood us up. He's like, "Oh, I'm sick." He said he had fucking COVID or something. He's a big fat liar. Big fat fucking liar, Luke the Window Cleaner. I don't even want Luke on here. I want Rihanna to come on here. That's who I want to come on here. I miss her. I talk to Luke on the phone all the time. You know what I mean? Well, not all the time, but, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. You know what I mean? I talk to Luke on the phone, or we'll text back and forth occasionally. But that's who I want on as his wife. I like her a lot more than I like him.
That's usually how it goes. Everyone likes my wife more than they like me, for sure. So.
What's that?
I mean, everyone likes my wife more than they like
right,
me.
Yeah. Everybody likes Jennifer more than they like me too, dude.
I'm just a fucking alcoholic dickhead.
Yeah, me too. I'm not an alcoholic.
All up, you know?
Yeah, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I stopped doing that. He was sick, though. I'm just busting your balls, Luke. You know, I miss you. I miss the fact that you don't talk to me anymore. We used to Voxer all the time, but Luke quit that too. He just like quit everything. He's like, fuck everybody. And you know what? I'm thinking about doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Just
Luke
popping
was
in
the
occasionally.
original Jersey for me. I used to heckle him in all his lives.
Yeah, Luke shot really good videos. It's unfortunate that we lost that as a community.
Steve-O's still pumping them out, though. I think those two are neck and neck when it comes to like training videos and learning videos about technique. Both their old content taught me so. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean it as an insult when I say ground guys. Like, those ground guys and y'all's attention to detail that do the houses, do these storefronts, do these lobbies. You know, y'all's attention to detail.
You just say these window cleaners.
Those techniques are what that taught me to be better on the wall. Because you hang with people on the wall, that's when people get a little sloppy. You know what I mean? They cut corners, but you guys, you know, y'all don't. You know.
Well, Luke, make sure you tell her I said hello. Make sure she knows what I just said. I would much rather have her on here than you. I'll settle for you, but I would much rather get to talk to her. Just tell her we said hello, especially me though. Yeah, those Steve and Luke, they shoot really good fucking videos.
He said he's not a fucking ground guy, okay? You're fucking like backhanding all of us.
Yeah, I'm a fucking window cleaner, man.
Yeah.
There was a compliment in there, man.
You know, you guys like to look down your nose at everybody else, and that's fine. I understand. You're way high up in the air, so you got to look down.
You can compliment me after I pull my dick out of your mouth.
I get it. It's cool.
I really meant it. Did not mean it in a bad way.
It's cool. We've been insulted this entire month. We don't mind.
I'll tell you one
Mark
thing.
does it almost every podcast.
Zane,
yeah,
his videos are fantastic.
Yeah,
dude. He's a ground
him
guy.
and Nick. Those two ground guys are fucking
satisfying videos and content to watch, and that dude's killing it. And I love watching it.
He's an awesome ground guy.
He's a ground guy. I learned a lot from ground guys on technique. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think just get there.
There's some high level ground guys.
You gotta think, I don't learn shit from. You gotta think there really is no high rise window.
Hey, ground guys back. It's
videos. You're the only ones that put out teaching shit and reviews And y'all, this community has taught me so fucking much, dude, that I've been able to bring it to them. If it wasn't for everyone in this and every guy on this podcast, dude, like talking to y'all a year ago, how much you helped TJ. I watched so many of yours. It's just like a lot of y'all's techniques is what I try out in the air. A lot of y'all's tools that y'all use on the ground for certain things, what I try out in the air. What I see you using, like ledgers or the mower man flip thing, I thought that was stupid. I had a 0 for everything. That's pretty much fucking replaced my zeros because I've seen what y'all can do with it on the ground. So it's like, I don't mean it as an insult. Like, you can get sloppy up top. The ground you can't, or you're not making money.
Us ground guys are actually technicians. That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm technically on the ground.
I'm gonna get all upset. If you guys don't understand the ruse yet, we're just there's the.
No,
ruse.
TJ won't accept him, so that was the last of them. So
accept what?
Hey Fletcher,
that wasn't a compliment.
You're not being singled out. We ask this of everybody as of late, but can you take apart a pellet storm window?
What?
A pellet storm window.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know either, but they're up north.
Apparently you're a technician if you can take it apart.
I work in the South, man.
Only ground guys can do that. Now they got pellet windows in the South.
I haven't fucked with them, I guess.
There's no
way.
I
guess that's a good thing. It sounds like it's a good thing.
So let me ask you this, Fletch. Do you ever do residential on the side to make extra money or anything? Like,
hey, do you ever do like pussy jobs, like houses and shit?
For
pussies? For guys that aren't real window cleaners, do you do that shit?
Sorry. But no, I don't prostitute.
Hey, do you do houses? Do you do houses for pizza and beer money? Like me and Seth do houses for pizza and beer money. I buy monsters and cigarettes with my revenue from houses.
You do some storefronts so you can buy weed?
Yeah.
No,
that's what I'm
above
that.
I've definitely done storefronts for weed.
I've definitely
storefronts for weed.
Yeah.
For sure I have.
For sure I have. Fuck yeah. Fucking pussy ass dudes that do houses.
But no, I am about to do Super Speedway on the side. The guy,
gay ground guys.
Yeah, bunch of fucking bone smoking ground guys.
And the guy who runs it is a good friend of mine who just rebuilt my truck.
This is it. This is it right here. I'm telling you right now. Next month is going to be ground guys.
There you go.
Yeah. Those slanted overhangs that overlook.
Ground guys month is coming up next month, guys. Make sure you tune in. I'm going to have all the ground guys on. It's all going to be about.
If you want to come to Nashville, TJ, I can probably use you. He's paying good.
What, for groundwork? I'll do all the groundwork.
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of doors.
I can do doors. I don't know, man. You might have to show me how to do a door.
I'll take care of the atrium glass, the slanted shit.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do a door.
I got faith in you.
I don't know, dude. I'll try.
You may need that water-fed pole.
I could probably do a door with a water-fed pole, maybe.
I think so. I got faith.
I've done one before. It comes out like shit.
No, it doesn't.
It comes out terrible.
Oh. Maybe I can prepare your lunch.
I like ham.
Mark, are you
still
No. I
hired ham and cheese.
I hired 2 guys and pretty much stopped, and they were doing everything, and then one of them left, and at that point, I didn't want to go through the hassle of training and hiring someone else, so everything fell into line. That they were like, we're doing a stage job right now, pressure cleaning and window cleaning on a 14-story. But they're like, oh, what are you doing next? Like, living through your eyes, you get to travel around and do all these buildings. I'm like, I want my fucking car dealerships back. This has been taxing. But, I gave them I don't want to do it price, and they said do it. And so we're doing it. But Palm Beach is watered down, like I said. And one company came in and bought almost every building in downtown. And I saw the writing on the wall. I started working with them, and it was a hassle to get paid, and then everything else. I was just like, you know what? Find someone else. I'm done.
Yeah, see, man,
downsized.
I hear so many horror stories, about like it seems like that is one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mark's a pussy
you guys,
now.
but y'all get paid most of the time same day. I mean, if you're doing storefronts, houses, you're getting paid same day pretty much, right?
Well, storefronts are net 30 at my company, but houses obviously would pay when you're done.
Yeah, it seems like some of these places, man. I mean, I know. Like I've even heard of a lot of companies, that have to go to court to get their money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it takes
no.
so long,
Look,
and it's
I will
just
tell you
like
this though:
a headache.
the biggest fight to get paid in my company is never been buildings because they're contracted and the money is budgeted, and I've always tried to pick the A or B class building. Okay, other than a couple of the county jobs we played around with, and now I wouldn't touch them anyway, but. The storefronts are the ones you get fucked the most on because they go out of business or they don't pay or I hired someone else. That's always the runaround. And it's a lot of $30 write-offs. You know what I'm saying? But, obviously residential, you get paid when you're done 90% of the time probably. I don't know. But storefronts are the killer of...
It's only like $5 or $10, so it's usually you don't have a hard time getting it from them.
Yeah,
that's enough for a pack of smokes in a month.
It seems like some of these high-rise jobs, you have to bankroll, a good bit up front, for some of these, it just seems like a lot.
Well, you learn with them. Window cleaning, and you can be out of there in 7-10 days or whatever. That's not a big deal. But like I took on a restoration job, not realizing it was going to take 60 days. And I was almost halfway done in the building. Said, hey, we want to give you some progress payments. What have you done? I'm like, we're done on north and the south, so we're halfway. And like submit for 50% of your pay, because I didn't think I was going to be floating payroll for 60 days, and then actually 90 if it's a 30-day. So I really learned on that to get progress payments on something that's going to take that amount of time. But like I said, I've never ever written off any money from a building. Maybe. Not even first floor work for us, the gravy was always getting that lobby and first floor monthly. You know what I'm saying? Because anyone can do it. Mm-hmm. The ground guys do. But no, but you're right. You think about the company you work with. If you've got 10 employees, that's a lot of money every week you're stroking pay. Mm-hmm. A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of stroking.
I know, like the project we're doing at Viridian, we've been on that one easily 6-7 months, doing that whole thing.
He's got to be getting progress payments on it.
Oh yeah. I know he is on that because it determines what's been done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like we've been having to jump around. Like I said, I was on that building Monday, pressure washing, Tuesday painting, and then today I was on another building window cleaning.
Yeah.
I'll be on this building the rest of this week, and then next week I'll probably be back over there a day or two. But like I said, the caulking guys is always there, and then there's like 2 other ones that are always there doing stuff too. But anytime it's like we're slamming out window cleaning, then we'll pop in there for a day or two.
See, my guys learn to work in organized chaos. But Fletcher, my personal experience with that kind of thing, because especially with less staff. I feel like someone said to me, how are you guys doing on the buildings? And I'm like, I feel like the ringleader of a circus because I'm juggling all day. You go here, go here. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we'll have 3 unfinished projects going at once, and that's brutal.
Oh, I'll be on 3. The thing is, I got 2 600-foot ropes that I keep on that one building all the time. But and I'm generally on like 2 to 3 different buildings a week on average. But the thing is for me that they're all within a block or 2. You know, and you're on one and there's the other 2.
I tell you, man, these podcasts go fast. We thank you for coming back on with us, Fletcher. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back next week with I don't know who we're gonna come back.
Michael Draper.
Michael Draper will be here next week, man. We thank you guys for watching and all that shit, man. Peace.
Thanks.
Maybe Michael Draper won't be late.
Well, he won't, man. It's actually his Nashville crew. My friend Caitlin is actually